Well, holy crap. It's been a while, but we're doing episode 5 of the Wunder Bar Podcast out of random because yeah, what an eventful week it has been for the zombies community where DLC 4 it's finally here. It's finally getting teased. And we already have 3 teasers for the next map. And today, as always, I'm joined by Revived. Revived, how are you doing? Been a while.
It has been a while, brother, and I've been doing good. I'm just excited for to talk about some zombies here.
Yes. So, obviously, a lot has happened within the past few months. Well, not really in terms of zombies. The only thing that's happened is a couple leaderboard events for Gobblegums and a mode that Treyarch pretty much killed on arrival. And then even after a couple updates. Um, but yeah, I mean, Grief just really wasn't, as popular as it should have been because they just didn't really made it a private match option, which is pretty much the most important part of Grief. And I feel like they kind of killed it when they said they're not going to do it at all. And yeah, so it's been kind of a dead period for zombies. There was really nothing else we can really, do, predict, anything. But now we're here and we have DLC 4 teasers. Now, obviously, there was a leak because of the Grief voice lines calling the map the Reckoning. Now, I'm not gonna lie, Revived.
hmm
Um, I personally don't think the map is gonna be called the Reckoning. I'm probably that 1% of people that don't think the map is gonna be called the Reckoning. Probably is gonna be
The
called the Reckoning at the end of the day, but I still think it's not gonna be called that. Um, I don't know. They could definitely change it. But Reckoning sounds interesting because this is gonna be this big finale, and I think the name really you know kind of explains that pretty well. So let's begin with DLC 4. So after the end of Shattered Veil, we defeated a dino, and we just headed over to Janus Towers to stop Sam from becoming Samantha, taking over her body. So
Correct.
there's a lot of plot lines, and I was just thinking about this right now, Revived. There's a
hmm
lot of plot lines that are gonna be converged in this map.
Yep,
So
that's quite a few.
yeah, so this map alone is gonna have right. It's gonna have the Sam AI arc. It's going to have Panos, Blanchard, and the Shadowsmith arc. And it's also going to have Richtofen's arc. Even though it's kind of closely related to the Sam AI, I think Richtofen still has his own arc. Because obviously, we all know Richtofen. This guy always has a backup plan. And
Yep,
I think he's gonna be planning behind the scenes during the map and such.
as he would say, he has a rabbit under his hat, so in his hat. So he's
Mm-hmm.
gonna. So I think something will probably be up there as well. So like, there's a lot of twists and turns that possibly could happen in this map, which I think is gonna make it very interesting. And I want to see how they actually are able to get through all of them because there's a lot to go into.
Yep. So let's talk about these teasers first, right?
Yep.
So the teasers. So our first teaser, what we got is basically, if I remember correctly, it was basically showcasing the verticality that we're gonna experience on the map, right? Um,
Correct.
these are towers, right? So a lot of people are comparing this to Die Rise. Now, I think it's pretty fair to say that because so far every map in BO6 was kind of inspired by old maps from the old Zombies game. Like Terminus is like Setsubo no Shima and Mob of the Dead combined. Liberty Falls is like Transit. Citadel des Morts is like the Rise and Drag. The Tomb is basically, Origins in a way. Shattered Veil is basically like Dead of the Night. So a lot of these maps are inspired by previous maps. So it wouldn't surprise me if, Janus Towers, or aka The Reckoning, is going to be inspired by like Die Rise and its verticality. So that's what the first teaser definitely showcased. And it was really cool to see like how the Dark Ether is kind of now entering their real world there, kind of like
Yep.
an incursion now, because we really haven't seen that yet. Because the only thing we really see like coming from the Dark Ether into the real world is like Dark Ether crystals. We saw a little bit of like the plants in Shattered Veil, like they were there around the map and such. So it was cool to see that. But now it looks like it's going to be in full force because those Ethereum reactors are going off crazily, and it's all going to be part of this massive plan that the SAM AI has. So our second teaser, we saw that there was this like cyclotron, like there was a huge laser beam. Um, the character, the point of view looks like it got pulled in, and then it got pulled out, and it feels like they went in an alternate like version of the current world, if you know what I mean. It's like if they went, it's like Stranger Things, like when they're in the real world and they went to the upside down. It kind of
Yeah.
felt like that. Because I think people were saying like the Pack-a-Punch location, like it kind of swapped places. It's like a mirror of it. I don't know if I'm correctly saying that or such,
Right,
but
because it did look like it moved.
yeah. So that's gonna be an interesting thing to see. Um, and then we saw a bunch of like robots on conveyor belts, which were obviously Klaus. And
Yep.
obviously Mecha Klaus has been not teased really, leaked for a long time since last year. Um and then today we finally got Mecha Klaus in full form, and he looks freaking awesome. Like that is one of the best looking boss zombies I've seen in a while. And I'm really glad they finally, really went deep into making new boss zombies. Obviously, it's basically the Panzer Soldat, but I think they really made it unique. So it's gonna be interesting to see how that all plays out and such. Um, but yeah, I feel like with this teaser today and the Mecha Klaus killing off the final soldiers that were there, it seems like that might be the end of the video teasers. And it looks
Yeah.
like we might be reaching the point where we're finally going to get the map reveal name. So when we're recording this, it's Friday, right? So this might be uploaded on Saturday, well, tomorrow. So maybe, Saturday, or if you're watching this later today, we could possibly get the map reveal, or there's another secret teaser that we still haven't gotten yet. So there's always a chance for more. But I personally don't see anything else until Monday because they like making us wait and suffer. Pain and suffering, ladies and gentlemen. Um. So yeah. So Revive, these teasers, right? What are your thoughts on them so far?
Yeah, so my thoughts on these teasers, well, for one, I do like the eerie vibe of them, like just overall the eerie vibe that they kind of give off. I wonder how that's gonna work with the map itself. If like there's gonna be like how in Terminus there was the soldiers that are on the ground getting eaten, or Liberty Falls and stuff like that. So I wonder how that's gonna work. Are we gonna see some of that like in action? I wonder how that's gonna work out.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but I also think that it does, like, because with the portal itself, the second image teaser, it is really interesting to me because, well, as you said, like I didn't even really think about it. But you literally see the guy get sucked into it, and then all of a sudden he like it's kind of like mirrored. So I didn't even think about it like that.
Mm-hmm.
But that's really interesting. And I really do because like obviously the voice lines you can hear from each of these, like one of them we presume is from Blanchard, one of them we presume is from Panos. So like I think it's really interesting to see where this goes because if you really think about it, this is probably when these take place, when these seasons are taking place, are after Liberty Falls, but sometimes some maybe during when the crew was in Shattered Vale, so it'd be like kind of continuous. Like this is
Mm-hmm.
what was happening before, because you can even kind of see that it shows us that this is before the same AI pops up and shows up. So this is probably during Shattered Vale and the events of that, which is even like it is definitely interesting, kind of shows us more of what happened. And then all of the experiments and with the Klaus robots and the Dark Aether portals and the Dark Aether like flooding into the universe, like our universe itself. Like it's really interesting, and I think these teasers have been pretty good. I think they're way better than what we've gotten previously for like Shadow Veil and the Tomb. Like we mainly just got image pictures, which is like that's not even close to as intriguing. It's just like this we can actually take away things and
Mm-hmm.
take away more from it other than just what the map looks like.
Yeah. Um, you know, I know we've been saying it and it's basically become a meme at this point, but like we keep on saying like, "Hey, we're definitely getting an intro this time around, right?"
Yeah.
Yeah. But honestly, like I'm not going to lie, right? Even if we don't get an intro for this map, even if we don't get an intro for this map, the teasers alone really are a great lead-in, I would say.
Yeah, yeah. These are like it's almost like a um just like a prelude to what we see during on the maps. Like this kind of makes sense because it gives us an explanation of things because I like we mentioned before, it's like it really doesn't make sense to not have any sort of like explanation or prelude to what's going to happen in the map because there's so much like there's so much missing. We have from Liberty Falls where at the end of that we see the Panos story with Blanchard that doesn't really get explained whatsoever because like it's like you really can't just go into the map of no like lead through. It has to have something. So I think this definitely works, especially if we get a couple more of these, which we might. I think that would be I think this will suffice at least a little bit more, and then hopefully we get multiple cuts into the map still. But I think this is a good kind of replacement for that.
Yep. Yep. I agree. So, teasers aside, right? There's been a lot of setup for this map, obviously. Um, obviously, before Black Ops 6 Zombies even released, we knew we were gonna end up at Janus Tower somehow. Now, I remember when we originally thought that the mansion was gonna be the final map, and then Janus Towers was supposed to be DLC 3. I remember that. I think
Yeah,
everyone thought that
that
was
was
gonna be
like
the case.
pre-launch, I think.
Yeah. So we all thought that the towers was gonna be DLC 3, but now it's DLC 4. So Janus Towers was always supposed to be the ending, I guess. Um, and there's a lot of plot lines converging here, like I said earlier. And I think that kind of leads us to our next topic that the end is near. The end of this Dark Ether chapter. So this is the finale for Black Ops 6 Zombies. The Dark Ether story for Black Ops 6 Zombies.
Yep.
Obviously we know we're gonna be continuing in Black Ops 7 Zombies, and we'll definitely get into that later on. But for Black Ops 6 and its finale,
Mhm.
we had so much setup for the past couple of games. So Vanguard, Modern Warfare Zombies, and even Cold War. Cold War obviously set the stage for Project Janus and all that stuff. West Virginia. So now we know why they went to West Virginia. Now we know why these specific locations were chosen. And, we pretty much know why Project Janus was created. All right. So that's the Cold War part of it really explained in Black Ops 6 Zombies. Vanguard, obviously, not the biggest game, not the popular one, but it did. Black Ops 6 Zombies did bring in craft, and it kind of, made the connection between him and Richthofen, where, Richthofen is his son, adopted son. So that is something that was connected there with Vanguard. It was like a epilogue for Kraft in a way, just to get an ending for him. Um, Personally, I think they could have done a bit better on it, but that's besides the point. It's already done and over with. Now, the only thing that really hasn't got a payoff is Modern Warfare Zombies. And Modern Warfare Zombies is obviously taking place in the future. Now, I know last year I made a video talking about the ending of Modern Warfare Zombies, and even me and you were talking about it so many times, Survive, that Ava was gonna end up in West Virginia, Liberty Falls somehow, right? We were
Yep.
saying that for the longest time, and like everyone was calling us crazy and stuff. Like that's definitely not gonna happen. But then the ending cutscene hit, and then you just see 3 months later, West Virginia. Like that's still one of my favorite outro cutscenes, just because of that. Because it just
Oh, yeah.
proved our prediction.
Yep. Absolutely.
Yeah, so Modern Warfare Zombie still hasn't got the payoff yet, right? Ava Jansen has yet to make an appearance, and with Shattered Veil, they really started to lean into Modern Warfare Zombies a little bit, right? The secret room for the purple ray gun upgrade, we see the giant ether worm, and it's just a statue of it. So obviously that's from Modern Warfare Zombies. So that's one tease for Modern Warfare Zombies. And then we got a piece of intel. And this intel was being told by Thanos. And the intel is called the Shadow Benefactor. And this is where we learn who Thanos was talking to the entire time. Because I'm pretty sure before that intel, and like pretty much when Liberty Falls dropped, I think pretty much all of us were assuming he was talking with someone in the dark, either in the dark ether, or he was talking to the same AI in secret. We just didn't know who he was talking to. This intel basically confirms he was talking to a Shadowsmith. Now, we don't know if it's the same Shadowsmith from the Modern Warfare Zombies ending cutscene that took Ava, or it's a whole different Shadowsmith. What do you think, Revive, like so far of what I said?
So here's the thing, right? So we know that from that intel, the one thing we learned from which before we didn't know was that obviously that it's he is who Pants was talking to. So we know that. So yeah, it kind of leads us to being the Shadow Smith or whoever the character is that possibly trapped Ava at the end of the cutscene, right?
Mm-hmm.
So that's what I'm thinking of. My only question is I don't know how that's gonna like work with the rest of the theming of the map. Like, are they gonna leave this as like a post-credit scene, kind of like how they did with Cold War? Where
Mm-hmm.
if you remember the post-credit scene we got after
Yeah.
the ending cutscene, which is pretty
Mm-hmm.
lengthy. So like hopefully we get a pretty lengthy cutscene. That's another thing. I hope the cutscene is pretty lengthy because I feel like there's a lot of plot and a lot of explanation, just a lot of substance that needs to be given here because there's a lot that needs to be filled out and fleshed through because it's kind of the what happened when they crammed a lot of the plot lines that are still moving along to this last map instead of solving them out earlier. So that's why I'm like, with that intel itself, I'm curious how they're going to solve that and how they're going to flesh that out and see what they do because I don't think like honestly I actually think it's pretty like I'm having a hard time predicting what's going to happen.
Yeah. I think I think one of the cool things about this story, right, is the way that they're telling it, right? Now, obviously, this is not, something that Treyarch wants to do. It's kind of just forced upon them, where they have to make zombies for past couple of games, right? They had to make Vanguard zombies. They had to do Modern Warfare zombies, right? So they have to make a story for that, right? And they have to connect it eventually and such, because everything has to be connected under the Dark Ether story. And at the end of the day, right? I know like a lot of people really didn't enjoy those games because it was just not the zombies mode that they really wanted. Right? But at the end of the day, the way that they told this story is so interesting, because even though they told a story in the future, the story is still so vague that even though it's in the future, like that story needs to be told first before you can even get to the story of Black Ops 6 Zombies, if that makes any sense. Right?
Oh yeah, it does. It does.
So it's like, if you go from Cold War to Black Ops 6, right? You probably wouldn't know about the Shadowsmiths at all. Like, the Shadowsmiths, you wouldn't know a single damn thing about it.
Yep.
But if you played Cold War, Vanguard, Modern Warfare Zombies, and then Black Ops 6, and then you get to Black Ops 6 and you look at the intel there, or like when we're playing Janus Towers and then we actually see that same Shadowsmith, we're going to be like, oh my god. You know? So the way they told the story has been very great, right? Now, I know one of the problems that we definitely were worried about going into Black Ops 6 Zombies was the fact that they basically spoiled kind of the plot a bit for Black Ops 6 Zombies in Modern Warfare Zombies, basically saying that they failed at saving Samantha.
Yep.
But when you really look at it now, it's so vague. It's so vague because we always thought, oh, so they just fail. They just never get her back, right? But now when you're playing Black Ops 6 Zombies, like, now you know they went for the Sentinel artifact. The
That's
Sam
another thing
AI,
too we didn't talk
yeah,
about.
yeah.
Sorry to cut you
No,
off,
no,
but
no.
like
Go ahead.
we didn't even talk about that thread either. It's like there's a whole part of it where the Sam AI wants to control the Sentinel artifact, and then you also remember the plan for our characters is they want to bring Sam back and use the Sentinel artifact to do it. So like that's even another thread line of like how is all this going to get jam packed into like one map? Like there's so much that has to go on.
Yeah. So yeah, like I was saying, like when Ravenloft said they failed, it's like so vague. So when you get to Black Ops 6 Zombies, you learn about like the journey that they actually went through, getting the Sentinel artifact and all that stuff. And then now the Sam AI has possession of the artifact. So it's still up for grabs of what's going to happen, right? We don't know if they actually stop the Sam AI, right? We don't know
Yep.
if, the Sam AI actually becomes Samantha. So even though they said, hey, we failed at saving Samantha, maybe there's still the Sam AI within Samantha's body, you know? And there was also the other theory with the Modern Warfare ending cutscene where that hand coming out the mirror, like people were saying like that's possibly the Sam AI possessing Sam's body, which I actually like that theory, and that would be pretty cool to see if how that plays out, if that is true in any
Yep.
shape or form.
Yeah.
But like I really like how, like, after you start playing the game and experiencing like the next chapter of the story, you kind of see how like the thing that was said before that you thought was going to be like a spoiler really is actually pretty vague. Like a lot of people say like, well, it's pretty predictable about what's going to happen, but honestly, like, I can't even think what's going to happen. There's so many things that could happen.
Yeah, like even me thinking right now, I just thought of something, but like it's only one possibility out of like the dozen things it could even be. Like it's actually kind of crazy. Like I actually think people are underestimating how much like how important this map story-wise and narrative-wise is to not only this game and the next game. Like I've seen a lot of people actually pretty excited for this map, which is really like a freshening sight because people just have a lot more optimism going forward for the next game. So like, I think this is gonna be the map where it's like we might actually get shocked. Like I feel like last map, you know, we didn't really get that shocked through a lot of things. We kind of knew a lot of what was gonna happen. Obviously, we didn't know we were gonna fight the dinosaur. Really, like people were speculating it, but there's like the story where that went. We kind of knew this is the map where we're gonna say Richtofen.
Yeah.
So that's we kind of knew that already. But this map is literally the map where like we might go, oh shit, like that type of moment. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like that's what we might be into, which I'm really excited for. Again, just
It might
to
be
see
like
that.
Forsaken back in 2021
Oh
when
yeah,
like all year we were saying like, dude, what if Psykov is the Forsaken? Because it's like it
yeah,
just makes
yep,
sense. Like
hmm
if you read all the intel, you would come up with that conclusion. So like
yeah.
once that cutscene played and you were watching it unfold, oh my god. The shocked face of mine and also
So
like
so
yeah.
yeah. So I was gonna say, Perka. So for this year, would that be if they revealed the Shadow Smith is the Shadow Man? Would that be like the corresponding thing?
Ooh.
Because like that's been like the kind of like the default like speculation is that he
Yeah,
is
like he's a
Shadow Man.
the Shadow Man.
Yeah, that like that evolved into the Shadow Smiths, and he created this group, but he originally was the Shadow Man. Like, if that's what gets revealed, that I feel like would be pretty nuts. Just because like I think people have thought of it, but no one actually thinks that's where they're gonna go because they just don't think that's where they're gonna actually do it. So like if that happens, that'd be kind of nuts. So like, dude, there's so much like, bro, there's so much that could be revealed on every single direction, every single plot
Hon-
line, thread.
Honestly, like I think the like oh shit moment of the map that would do it for me
Uh,
is Ava Jansen.
oh
Like
yeah, I think so.
that is gonna be my thing. Like if I just see like
Dude, what if
the
it's like a mid cutscene, like right before the boss fight, and she pops up, and like she pops through the portal or whatever in the Dark Aether. Like imagine the boss fight is in the Dark Aether, and we go there, and she pops in. Like
yeah,
that's some like like that could be some crazy ass shit.
dude, that would be sick. No, like dude, you don't know how pumped up I would be if I just see like Ava Jansen's like picture on the side of the like the whenever the characters talk and it just says Ava Jansen and her quote. I would freak the fuck out.
For
I'm
real,
gonna
dude.
like freak out because like, dude, I've been waiting for a year for the payoff, and the payoff is finally gonna happen. You know, I really hope, I really hope they pay it off. Like they know that people have been waiting for that one. So if they're saving up for like the big finale, bravo to them because bro, they had me waiting in Shattervale to see Ava Jansen, and she didn't make an appearance there. So if she didn't make an appearance there, they definitely were saving her for like the finale. And if we don't see her in Janus Towers, I would be shocked. And I don't even know like what they're gonna even do with that story at that point. But like, I think I think honestly, if with the whole Shadowsmith arc and such, like you kind of do have to have her. Like it's a no brainer. She's part of the story somehow, and she's part of that arc because the whole arc of the Shadowsmiths revolve around her because it clearly states that they've been looking for Ava Jansen. So why? So like why wouldn't she appear? This is like the big finale, so you kind of need her to be there. So yeah, that. Oh man, there's a lot
No,
of
yeah,
things to
for
look
sure.
forward to with this map.
Mhm.
And I know we even said that for Shattervale. And I think Shattervale, like I think it lived up to the expectations that we had set, right? I think we knew
Yeah.
Richtofen was gonna be there. We knew that Weaver was gonna eventually, or like Richtofen was eventually gonna reveal like Weaver's, you know, the truth and such.
Mhm.
Um and then we also
But
learned a
now,
lot
yeah.
about Project Janus,
Yep.
all the experiments and such, and like why Richtofen really went for the artifact and such. So like we got all of that, right? We got the
Mhm.
basic gist of everything. And I think that kind of concludes the Project Janus arc. Like, I don't think we really need to know much more about Project Janus because I think we already got the conclusion with that. We already know what it was, right?
Yeah.
So now it really comes down to this finale where we are trying to, well, not we trying to, like, we're trying to come to a resolution in a way. But the resolution is like so complex because there's so many different plot lines right now.
Yeah,
So
no, for sure.
like I can't tell you. I can't honestly tell you like what's gonna happen because I really don't. This is the first time in a while where I don't have like a set idea of what's gonna happen.
Yep, like that's the thing here. It's like we don't have any inkling really, like because everything else is wrapped up. We know obviously that the only thing we really do know is like on the surface, we're going there to stop the SAM AI from using the artifact to gain a sentinel or a sentient body. That's the only and Sam's body to be specific. Like that's the only thing we know. Everything else is up in the air. Like obviously we know Panos is there, but like we don't know what his goals are. Because we know he's working with the Shadowsmiths. Do the Shadowsmiths want him to do something specifically? Maybe they want him to gain the artifact to do something to free them. Maybe that could be possible. Like there's so much that is not explained. That like also my mind's like, dude, this quest, I really hope it's long and lengthy because I think there's a lot of different avenues they can go with that kind of like to section off the quest and make it like almost like a multiple part quest. Like I was thinking about this where if they make the quest kind of like how the Final Reich has like the easy mode and hard mode, which like the easy mode is just like it stops like midway through or whatever, a little bit more, you know what I'm talking about? And then
Yeah.
there's extra steps for hard mode. Like what if there's something like that in terms of sectioning off? Like this is the first part of the quest, and then here's a second part, and here's a third part, kind of more like that because we've usually with quests lately, they've kind of been like a linear thing where they kind of just, hey, do this, do this, do this, and then you'll get maybe a mid boss fight and cut and then cutscene. And then for Terminus, that was kind of Terminus is like the one comparison I have where it was kind of like here's the first part of the egg in the quest, and then you stop for a second, learn about Maya's brother, and then you kill him, and then it goes on from the second part. But like that, like more like a grander scale, like we get multiple parts because I think there is substance to do that with this map because there's just so much.
Yep. It has a lot writing on it. Um and that kind of leads us to our final topic. Black Ops 7 Zombies. Now, we know that the next map after Janus Towers is going to be taking place in the heart of the Dark Ether. So it's a map that's going to be within the Dark Ether, like fully in the Dark Ether. I don't think we really had that yet. We only had sections, like the Tomb. We had only that Dark Ether section. And then Vanguard, we pretty much only went into like the Dark Ether for the arena, but the rest of the map was in the regular world. The Machine, we also went into the Dark Ether, but that's only like swapping between the two dimensions. So we're going into the heart of the Dark Ether. Now, there's been a lot of talk, obviously. OG crew, Primus, Richtofen, Dempsey, Nikolai, and Takio. Now, I know a lot of people are expecting Janus Towers to end with the big reveal that the OG crew is coming back. And I'm going to be honest, Revived, I don't think that's going to happen. I don't think it's going to happen.
I don't either, but I wouldn't be surprised if there's something at the tail end that hints at it.
Yes,
If you know what I mean.
that's what I at least expect. It's
And
like a
then because think
hint.
about it this way, I feel like they would 100% if they're gonna reveal that, they're gonna want to do that when they do the zombies reveal for the next game. I don't think they
Exactly.
would do that now. I think they would hint at it, but then we won't actually get the reveal, the big reveal until then, because then it's a huge hype moment for marketing. Like they always take advantage of that stuff. Is anything that has big marketing potential, they always fucking they always push the pedal on it. So like I think that's what they'll do. But I do agree with you. I don't think we're gonna get like this big reveal where they just show off the characters like at the end. I don't think that's gonna happen.
Yep. And after thinking about it a while, and I know I tweeted this out, I don't think the map that people are expecting to be in the heart of the Dark Ether, I don't expect that to be the map that has the OG crew. I think that map is going to be the Requiem crew, our current crew. And I think that's going to be the map that kind of concludes what happens after 1990 or during 1996. Because so far, we're in 1991. And then we know that in 1993, Ava Jansen is born. And then we know in 1996, when Ava Jansen's only 3 years old, that the Requiem crew was dying to long-term Ethereum exposure. And then, obviously, they end up dead in Urzikstan. But we still don't know why. We don't know why they end up there. I feel like the map to really
Probably,
explain
yeah.
that
I think
is
it's
going to
this
be
map.
the Black Ops 7 one.
I think actually this map is going to explain why they're going in the Dark Aether, because I think what would happen is the end of like the post credit scene would probably be them doing whatever they had to do to, with the Dark Aether device from MWZ. I think that's where they might conclude it, where they go, hey, this is what is gonna like this is what why we have to do this. Obviously, they say we got to leave Ravenov behind, because I think about it like that, because it kind of makes sense just for like, hey, this is why they're going to the Dark Aether. I think that's probably the explanation they go
Oh
with.
my
But
god. Revive.
what?
I just brainstormed it right now.
Oh,
So
really? I want to hear
like
it.
you're saying like how they might pull like a Cold War outro where they do a time
Yeah,
jump.
yeah,
I think it might do a time jump to 1996
yeah.
and it's going to show the crew going into that room and they're going to be sitting there and I think that's how they transport themselves into the heart of the Dark Ether.
Yes, because I was thinking this too. Because what if they can't actually go in there because due
Yeah.
to them already being exposed to the Dark Aether, if they try to go there with their physical bodies, they'll just collapse
Or
and die.
or
So they
or
have to send the
maybe
test.
or maybe that's why they got the Ethereum exposure because they tried to get to the heart of the Dark Ether regular, but that kind of backfired on them.
That could be it too. And then that's why, because we've heard in the past about how souls can exist in the Dark Aether, lost souls and stuff. Maybe they have the device somehow to transfer their souls into the Dark Aether. That could be another thing they possibly do, because then I would explain why their physical bodies have stayed underneath Urzikstan for that
Yeah.
long. So,
Yeah. So that might be it, honestly.
dude, what?
So
Dude, I
so
just
when we
thought of
think
something.
with that we so like
Yeah,
sorry to cut you off there,
there you
but
go.
like when we think that they're actually dead, that's what we basically saw as the aftermath of like them putting themselves into the heart of the Dark Ether, like transporting themselves there.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
And maybe that's what they need to do, because like, dude, there's so many things that could happen, because like, what if this somehow involves a sentinel artifact, and maybe this involves them beating the Sam AI, and then they actually do beat her, and then they have to go into the Dark Aether to try to save Sam. Or dude, there's so many different possibilities of what this could be. Like, it's actually insane.
Yeah. Wow.
But yeah, it's crazy. Like, I just thought of that while we were talking. It's like that could be an explanation of why they use that device, because like it doesn't, like, trying to think about it, like what else could it be? Like nothing really else makes sense of what they did with that device with those Ethereum vials. Like I can't really think of anything else, but like that could be something that they could lead into to to the Black Ops
Because
7.
maybe those files, right?
Hmm.
Machine basically generates the thing in order to pull their souls and put it into the dark ether so they can go
Yeah.
there. Maybe it's like a transportation device. And I'm assuming probably, Richtofen made it. I don't know. Like, honestly, I still don't know where Richtofen plays a role in this, actually. Like, I was thinking about it recently. It's kind of interesting that, like, now we're kind of working with Richtofen. And
Yeah.
obviously, regardless if Richtofen is, like, cool with us for the time being, he still has his own agenda. And his own agenda is saving his family no matter what.
Hmm.
So it's going to be interesting to see if Richtofen has a whole other journey that's separate from theirs, or this is all part of his plan, part of a bigger plan. Like
Yeah.
it's going to be interesting to really see how this all plays out, because I feel like you can tell a lot of different stories now, because you have the Requiem crew, and then you have Richtofen. You also have Ava Jansen, and wow, like, you can really make a lot of different chapters with this.
No, you can. That's what I was saying. Like they could have a lot here to do with the Easter egg quest itself. Like they could do a lot of different things with different
Mm-hmm.
chapters and separating things. So like that's interesting and it's within itself. But yeah, I think it'll be interesting.
Mm-hmm. Wow. So yeah,
So
this
so yeah,
this map.
with Black Ops 7 as well. So just like talking about that game.
Mm-hmm.
So as you said, how you don't think that the crew will be the first crew in the Black Ops 7 map, the first map. I'm thinking kind of the same as you there, only because of where we're at story wise. But then it's also weird because the leaks kind of like go against that because it does show that they're going to be involved as the main crew in the first map. So I'm intrigued to see what they do here because it's very up in the air right now, and I think that's one of the most exciting things is like we just don't know, and I think I think we're gonna very quickly get to learn a lot about this stuff. Like, I actually really can't wait. Like, we know that the Black Ops. We should probably talk about this too. The Black Ops 7 reveal got announced. The date
Yep.
for the worldwide reveal. So that's an interesting point. So August 19th is when it's going to happen.
Yep.
We know that it's the worldwide reveal. I don't think they've mentioned anything else, but I would assume that there's going to be gameplay there because we already kind of seen like the cinematic trailer. So like I would be kind of surprised if they don't do at least a little bit of gameplay like how they usually do with the campaign. So we get to see some gameplay first. And then I'm sure as well probably in the coming weeks we're gonna see some leaks of like pre-order information or pre-order or whatever, and it's probably gonna give us more information on zombies as well. So like that's another part of it where I think once this map comes out, we're gonna get a lot of info really fast and really quick. That I think there's gonna be a lot more to talk about because they've kind of set this up where we at first were complaining or just nitpicking about a few months ago that they were going to reveal Black Ops 7 during the show Xbox showcase, but then they're not going to talk about it for another couple months into August, which is what ended up happening. But I think this kind of works out because it keeps the hype flowing where now we're going to get teasers up to the next map that goes straight into the next game. So like basically as soon as this map comes out, they could start marketing Black Ops 6 as a whole and then go into that. So I think that could be intriguing. And then I wonder what they do for the 19th because it did sound like that it was going to be quite an expansive reveal. At least that's what Jeff Keighley said in his tweet. He's going to be like a very big reveal. So I don't think it's going to be just like I'd be kind of shocked if it's just a 3-minute trailer. I think it'll probably be a little bit more than that.
Yeah. No, for sure, definitely. This is definitely. I think they're kind of like using the same marketing strategy as last year. With Modern Warfare Zombies, and then leading into Black Ops 6. Because once the Modern Warfare Zombies story wrapped up, not even like a couple days later,
Yeah, it was a
you got
couple
the
days,
first teaser.
literally.
Like,
Yeah,
you literally got the teaser for the Liberty Falls
Bro, that
Game
it might be
show.
it literally might be the same right here. Like we might get the map and then like not even 4 or 5 days later, we might get like big ass marketing for BO7 in some sort of way, like just in general. Like
Yeah.
it,
So
it probably would be something similar like that.
yeah. So like these next few weeks are gonna be awesome. Um,
Yep, absolutely.
like let's be real, Revive. The Black Ops 6 7 sorry. Black Ops 6 7. Wow. That's a new game.
Mm.
Black Ops 6, the marketing last year,
Yep.
one of the best marketing periods ever for zombies.
Oh yeah, I think
One of the
so.
best. I think it was one of the best since Black Ops 4.
Dude, they basically had an entire month for zombie marketing. Like I'm pretty sure
Yeah.
was it August?
Yeah.
Was it
It was
August?
in
Or,
August.
yeah, it was August. They had literally like the entire month they had basically marketing because they had to market. They spent like a couple weeks on Terminus, I think it was, and then they did Liberty Falls closer to COD Next. So
Mm-hmm.
basically, we had marketing for the entire month. I think that might be the same thing we get in September this year, where I think next month we'll get BO6 and then obviously a little bit of stuff here and there, and then BO7 marketing as well with the reveal. And then September might be the same thing. So like I think it's been a really big drought ever since the last map and for Shadow Vale because this game has just honestly just been kind of boring.
Mm-hmm.
There's not really much to do. Like I'm kind of just in wait and see mode. But this last map is like at least compared to like MWZ, this game has kind of like one last hoorah until we go to the next game. So I'm actually really excited for that. And then we'll go
Yep.
into what's next.
For sure. Yeah. So Black Ops 7 is gonna be revealed August 19th. The next map is dropping on the 7th, I believe, unless they want to push it to
Yeah,
a
they
Wednesday
haven't,
release.
which they
Um,
might, because they what's it called, the Battlefield reveal, which I don't know if they're gonna do. I would assume they're gonna avoid revealing the roadmap then, just because I know there's a bunch of COD creators going to that, so they might do the roadmap on Wednesday. So I wonder if that
yeah.
also affects the release date because didn't wasn't there a season this year that was on a Wednesday?
Yes, it was season 3, Shattervale.
Yeah. So that could be a thing where like yeah, it technically says it's gonna end on a Thursday on the current battle pass, but it might be Wednesday. We'll have to see. It's up in the air still. But
I'm
yeah,
hoping it's a Wednesday for the sake of the
yeah, that'd be great.
please be on a Wednesday, Treyarch. If you're watching this somehow, please Wednesday. Just Wednesday, please. Wednesdays are the good days. If you make it Thursday, oh well, you're gonna make me suffer. But yes, Wednesday, Wednesday, good. Thursday, so. Please.
No, yeah, absolutely.
Um, but yeah, I think that's pretty much it. I mean, we are so close to the end. I can't believe I'm saying this. We're at the end of Black Ops 6 Zombies, and we're about to begin the next chapter, which is Black Ops 7. And
Yep.
yeah, it's kind of crazy to say that because last year we were just at the end of Modern Warfare Zombies, and now we have so much more story information, and there's so much more to talk about now.
Yep.
And I feel like really like when we were in the down period for the past couple of months, we really didn't know what to talk about, right? We
Yeah.
only came up with crazy stuff. We always said like some crazy stuff, and we were
Yeah.
trying to like try to make the best out of nothing, because we were kind of stuck with grief, and you know, while grief is a good mode, not anymore because they kind of ruined it. But it was a great piece of content for the time being. But obviously, we love storytelling. I think one of the best thing of zombies is its story. And even though the Black Ops 6 Zombies story kind of suffered a bit, there's a lot of factors and such that kind of played a role. I think ultimately they managed to still make a great story, a great interesting story. And I feel like this map, with the major gap that they had, I feel like they really have the chance to really make up for the mistakes that the story has had for the past couple of months. Because now, now the voice actor strike is finally over. So
Yep.
there's possibly a chance that we could see the return of Julie Nathanson. There's a possibility of that. And, there's a possibility that, everything else, like story-wise, is just going to get better. Because maybe now, they really need to get the story in order to move on to Black Ops 7. Because if you don't nail the story in this game, how you're going to, pass the torch over to the next game? It just doesn't work like that. Like, the reason why Black Ops 6 Zombies was so hyped up alongside, the return of round base and all that stuff was its story. Because a lot of people really enjoyed the Cold War story, whether people liked it how it was told or not. Like, it was a great story. Like, if you really went into all the intel and such, or if you watch like Gaming Revolution or any other, content creator that went deep into the story and explained it, like, it's such an interesting story, and it was built up so well across the entirety of the game, even when there was no new maps at all. Like, remember Revive? Like, staying up at midnight, going through the Outbreak maps, finding the new piece of intel and such, and
Oh,
then
yep.
just getting a
Yep.
revelation like every time. Like,
Oh, yep.
it was so good. It was so good. It was great storytelling. So, like, that's why Black Ops 6, and especially Modern Warfare Zombies as well, with the outro cutscenes. The outro cutscenes, like, were awesome in Modern Warfare Zombies. And it was insane that we got, like, cinematic cutscenes for that game every story mission that dropped. So, the story is really good. And I really want Treyarch to really nail the ending. Really get the story in a great position to pass the torch onto Black Ops 7. Because Black Ops 7 really needs to maintain high quality storytelling if you want to keep the players around all year. And I definitely think we need to move a little bit back into how the Cold War intel worked out, where there was a lot more story, and then also story was presented during the down periods of the game. So I really want to see that make a return. And yeah, I'm excited. I'm excited for the end. And we're definitely going to be talking about, you know, the ending whenever it gets the chance. And we're going to make our predictions for Black Ops 7 based on the ending. And obviously, we're going to be live with the Easter egg hunt. So if you want to see us, go crazy for this next map, because trust me when I tell you, like, me and Revived are probably like one of the biggest fans of the story. Like, if you want to talk about the Dark Ether story, me and Revive are like your best friends for that.
Yep. Absolutely.
So
No one better.
I think that's a great place to end off the podcast. So it was great, once again, Revived, to be back on the podcast. Hopefully,
Yep.
with Black Ops 7, we have a lot more things to talk about. And hopefully, the story ends on a great note.
I agree, man. It's been great today talking about this, and I can't wait to see what's next. And yeah, if you guys want to watch us play the map, can't wait for that too. So it's going to be great. I cannot wait.
Yep. So that is all, everyone. If you guys did enjoy the podcast, drop a comment, let us know your thoughts. Also drop a like and spread the word, This conversation is really interesting, and we want to, keep it going, because I feel like the Dark Ether story is going to get so much more interesting now. And now that there's really nothing standing in the way, I think we're finally going to get to a point where we can be satisfied and not deal with like the worry that the story is not going to cook or anything. I feel like right now we're in a great spot to enjoy. So that is all, ladies and gentlemen. We will see you in the next one. Peace.